Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Most of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach. I like to say I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentation skills, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. I've got a number of other presentations on my website if you'd like to check those out. If your organization has an upcoming conference and you need a keynote speaker, I hope you'll reach out at debsofield.com. I would love to be a part. I've got a number of great books on the market. My best-selling book, Speak Without Fear. My book, Perfecting Your Platform. Both of those are on Amazon and Audible if you like to listen to books. And my series, Encouragement for Your Life, which is a compilation of these podcasts, they're available on Amazon, volumes 1 through 3. Just go into Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, all my books will appear. My headline's a little unusual today, and I'm calling it Why We Lie. Friend, honesty is such a lonely word, and to add insult to injury, exaggeration is the name of the game. And friends, that's a lie. I know, tough love, but you can handle it. Thanks for joining me. I'm Deb Sofield. Stay tuned. I'll be right back after the break. I know, I said the word lie. Well, because that's what it is when you don't tell the truth about yourself. I know the word's harsh, and it's still tougher to be called out on. But quicker than you can hide your lie from those who know you, the damage you've done to yourself will cut you deeply and leave a lifelong scar for all to see. Friend, I want to encourage you today to make your way back to your beautiful, real self and not someone's idea of what and who you should be. We all know people who exaggerate their self-importance to the point of ridiculousness. You see it on their website, Facebook page, LinkedIn profile. Come on, I just laugh half the time when I see it because I know the person. And I think, frankly, it's a sad commentary on our world that just because someone wants it to be so, and without the work, the sweat, the knowledge, they think they can lie their way into the spotlight. But it's a funny thing that many forget about the spotlight. It doesn't lie, and it doesn't exaggerate the dishonest image. So the truth shines lonely on the stage. You see it daily in the game of social media, trying to make everything seem grander, bigger, more enhanced than it really is. From preachers who claim they've spoken to millions of converts, to speakers who claim they've spoken to tens of thousands of people, or politicians who claim they've heard from hundreds of constituents, when in reality, those numbers are suspect at best and flat out wrong at worst. Okay, maybe I'm a skeptic. Okay, I am. But rarely do I believe the numbers unless I can quantify them, because sliding the scale to make one seem more important than they really are is quickly becoming our national pastime. Just think about all the folks who are suddenly lifted into leadership roles, only to find out they lied on their application, their resume, or their wartime record. And just as quickly as they ascend, they crash. But not without the sticky judgment that will follow them the rest of their lives for being known as a fabricator and faker and falsifier. You see this trickery all the time when unknowns claim they've spoken, trained, or taught 25,000 people, when in reality, nobody knows their name, and they're not recognized by any organization as a leader in their industry. Worse yet, they don't show up on any online resource as a source of information. The fact is, it is more than a bit of exaggeration we're dealing with here. Friend, this is self-aggrandizement, and it borders on psychosis, and that is a serious mental issue. Michelle Holm has a quote that sums up this national phenomena clearly when she says, "Denial is the worst kind of lie, because it is a lie you tell yourself." And yet, we see it all the time. I'm guessing the exaggerator doesn't expect anyone to look for truth, but that would be a mistake, because in this day and age, it doesn't take much to be found out. And when the truth comes forth, the damage from the dishonesty, wow, it's destructive. Thomas Jefferson said, "He who permits himself to tell a lie once finds it much easier to do it a second and third time, till at length it becomes habitual." It's safe to say we're becoming a nation of habitual storytellers. We all know the bar is low these days for those who make big, audacious claims of their abilities, talents, and gifts, and frankly, it's always sad to see when they can't measure up to the level they claim. But hey, they've done this destruction to themselves, so kind of hard to feel sorry for them. Disgust, maybe. Sorry, not so much. Hard to feel sympathy for someone who purposefully makes claims they can't back up. There was a scam going around in the book industry, and I'm sure it still shows up, where a writer would have 15 friends at a certain designated time, usually 1 a.m. or some off time, to buy their book online. And in the crush of 1 minute, they claim, and that's in quotes, that they have a #1 best-selling book on Amazon.com. Seems silly in the light of day, but schemes like this happen more than we know, all for the purpose of exaggerating their self-importance. Time's a funny thing when it comes to the truth. And if this is you, the people who know you, and they know you haven't accomplished the fake list of success you claim by your bellowing on your brochure or website, friends, you can't blame your friends when they finally lose that last shred of respect they had for you because you created this false avatar of someone you're not, and simply because you're not willing to do the work to be truly, honestly, justifiably amazing. You just didn't think you'd be found out. Remember, one lie is enough to question all truth. Is it worth it? Is it worth the trouble to keep up the false image? Is it worth the damage to your reputation? Hey, let me answer that for you. No, 1,000 times no. Believe it or not, your friends would be more impressed if they were told the truth, even if it isn't as glamorous as one would like. At least they know what they're dealing with, and true friends will support you on your journey to success and buy your book. The problem with the little lies is that they never find an ending point. And as you well know, once that fire is started, it is hard to put out. I saw a poster recently and it says, "A lie is a lie. A white lie is a lie. A half-truth is a lie. A hidden truth is a lie. A lie by omission is a lie. A lie is a lie." Okay, I wish I had better news, but I don't when it comes to this issue. So here is where I want to challenge you, encourage you to challenge others, and to be aware of others who are exaggerating their self-importance. Before I explain, let me assure you, I've not been contacted by your ex or your boss or your former friends. Today's a topic that's just been floating around in my head for a while, and it was hard to put on paper because, let's be honest, it's not fun or uplifting in any sense of the word. But this is the truth that someone needs to say and someone needs to hear, because too many good people are on the edge of decision making and, if they make the wrong decision, falsely build themselves up and create a false image of someone they're not. Don't let that be said of you, and don't let it be said you weren't warned of the damage that it will do when you're found out. And unfortunately, you're going to be found out. You're not lucky enough to hide. Not in today's fact-checking Google world. My advice, as your friend and coach, is to do the work. Make an honest name for yourself and build your knowledge base and skills to amazing, instead of being a forger, a fake, or worse yet, a fool. You're better than that. And deep in your heart, you know it. Friend, don't take the shortcut. It's always longer than it seems. And truth be known, it doesn't lead you to success. You'll just amble and wander and stray down paths leading you nowhere. Probably the most important reason I can think of you to come back to being who you are online, offline, and in real life is that friendships, real friendships, they're hard to come by these days and harder to maintain as you get older. And as wise as old Aesop of Aesop Fables says, betray a friend and you'll often find you've ruined yourself. Another quote I like is, breaking someone's trust is like crumpling up a perfect piece of paper. Oh, you can smooth it over, but it's never going to be the same. Let me add this truth. Friend, if you want a long-term relationship in life, in business, and with others, follow this simple rule. Never lie. Being honest may not get you a lot of friends, but it will always get you the right ones. I want to close with this quote from Thomas Jefferson. Honesty is the first chapter in the book of wisdom. Ah, friend, be wise, be truly amazing, but most important, come on, be honest. Why? Because that's who you are. That's who you need to be. And going forward, I want you to make that tough decision to not only stop lying to others, but stop lying to yourself. All right, believe it or not, this is Deb Sofield's encouragement for your life. I know it's tough. I know most people don't talk about this, but they should. Because in the end, you're the only one that's hurt, and I don't want that for you. I want you to have an amazing life. I want you to be respected, well thought of, and well loved. My friend, that only happens when you do your part. All right, remember, I say this every week now. I don't care what the world says about you. I want you to know I care about you. And I care about you because some of you are telling what you will say is a white lie. But friend, it's a lie. And you're better than that. And I want to see big things happen in your life. And I'm going to walk alongside you as we follow your dream to great success. Why? Because you tell the truth every day, all day long. All right, take care, everybody. Join me next week for another Deb Sofield's encouragement for your amazing life. Take care.